Indian Institute of Packaging, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, all the institutes, Government of India made it as an autonomous.
Acha.
So we thought autonomous means something fancy word. We didn't know much about what is autonomous. Then really we understood autonomous means government is not paying you salaries. So all students are coming with a degree, but they are not coming for packaging BTech. They are coming mechanical BTech, chemical BTech and all. See, if we can have an university, we can start at a BTech in packaging, MTech packaging, PhD in packaging.
Correct.
And that itself will become a very new thing for the country. Exporter, they are all depending on the vendor. But ये ऐसा carton बना दो, ये strength बना दो, क्या बना दो? Standardization नहीं है, specification.
Before moving ahead, would like to bring your attention on a wonderful new product, a reusable notebook from NARA. It's a 100% tree-free, waterproof and tear-proof notebook which can be used endlessly for years together. I think it's a great step towards a sustainable future and a new step in note-taking. I have been personally using this notebook and have been able to save 6 to 8 pages every day. If you are interested in knowing more about this product, the link for the product is in the description below. Saha sir, welcome to Ink Stories. It's an honor to have you. You're been a very senior government employee in the Government of India and heading Indian Institute of Packaging for so many years. It's an honor to have you. Welcome to Ink Stories again. I wanted to tell you that my team, when I shared your profile with them और मैंने उनको बोला कि हम साहा सर को इनवाइट कर रहे हैं तो they were all shocked. ये सर का कितना डिग्रीज है, कितना पढ़ाई किया है, क्या क्या है इनका, हम क्या क्या कवर करेंगे. So that is a challenge for us now in terms of what all can we cover with sir. In terms of your experience, you were telling me that you spent 32 years with Indian Institute of Packaging. So can we start this podcast? Are you all set?
Yeah, no problem.
Great sir. So can we start with your early journey? आप कहाँ पैदा हुए, क्या आपका education background है, something with that?
Okay. Sujit, I come from a very small town, which is not a town, it's a city, the capital of Tripura.
Agartala.
I came from Agartala. It's a northeastern states, and there I did my education.
Okay.
And then there is a very difficult to get a higher study opportunity. And always the northeastern states, which are very backward, and I'm talking long back,
early 70s,
early 70s and all. So I was thinking that what I should do. So all the time I was thinking, let's go for some engineering course. And I was very meritorious from the beginning.
Nice.
I got throughout first class up to my masters. And so I said, okay, I go for engineering. So Tripura, there was an engineering college, which is now called NIT. So I took admission in the civil engineering, and then I did some course, 6-month classes and all. Somehow I didn't like it. Then I thought, okay, if I want to go out, somehow I got an agricultural interest. So agriculture engineering I have to go. But the government of Tripura has got a scheme. They give a scholarship to the people based on the merit. So I applied for that, and I got a very high percentage marks in my higher secondary. I got first division with a letter marks. That time, more than 60%. 60% is the first division. And then if you get a marks for more than 70% that time, they say letter marks.
Achha.
So I got letter in physics, letter in chemistry, 2 subjects I got letter marks.
Lovely.
And that has helped me. So when I applied and I was selected for agriculture engineering, I did my agriculture engineering from Rajendra Agriculture University.
Okay.
So there I did my agriculture engineering, my graduation, and most of my classmates after that, they go for a job. So they go for a bank job or some other job. But somehow I was thinking I should go for a higher study. So one of my professor from the university, he says you can do a master's from agricultural science or agriculture engineering. But if you really look at about the future is coming about the technology. So why don't you try, there is an institute called Central Food Technological Research Institute, that is called CFTRI Mysore. And it is little difficult to get the admission, but with your marks, percentage of marks, you can try for that.
Okay.
And that has really made me little bit inspiration. I said, okay, let me try. So I didn't go for a job. I applied for that institute. That institute is a very unique institute even today now. I think this is the topmost institute in the subject of food technology in the country today. That is under CSIR, that is called Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. And that institute for Indian student, there is only 15 seats and one seat from one state.
Acha.
That's the way, and all depends.
Itna exclusive.
Itna exclusive. And how many states are applying? It depends on your luck which year. So when I applied, this was 1983 after my graduation, and I represented from Tripura. Naturally, the application was less from that place. And my agriculture engineering, again, I was first class. I got around 87% marks.
Lovely.
So 87 also not, because there are some students from Andhra who got 94, 95%.
Oh, okay.
So all India merit list, probably I was 5th or 6th position. And there are 15 seats, one seat from one state. And based on that, 15 students they have taken. So I joined in CFTRI in 1983. And I did my masters, and after completing my masters in food technology, through the campus I got a job. 2-3 offer came, but the job I liked because my uncle was working in Food Corporation of India.
Acha.
So I thought, let's go to the food technology. So I joined in a modern food industry.
Oh, okay.
Modern
The current
food,
Unilever.
Current it is in Unilever. That time it was a public sector undertaking.
Right.
So my first posting was at Chennai.
Lovely.
So I joined as a assistant manager quality.
So आपका पहला job government में ही था?
Government में ही था. That was my first job in government, and I joined there and then started working for 2 years. But somehow, the language was a big problem in Chennai. The food was a problem. Climate was a problem in Chennai. Then I was thinking that I should move somewhere where something on packaging. Somehow packaging was very passionate for me.
Which year are you talking about?
I am talking, I passed out 85. So 85 I'm talking.
Around 85.
1985.
Packaging तभी तो कोई सोचता भी नहीं होगा.
कोई सोचता नहीं, but 1985 then I said, okay, let me see that where the packaging I can go. So I worked in modern food industry from 2 years, 85 to 87. So 87 I came to know in my institute itself at CFTRI, because when I did my dissertation and my investigation on a food packaging, that time I came to know about the Indian Institute of Packaging, which is one of the leading institute in the country. In fact, this is the only institute under Government of India till today.
Right.
So that institute, 1987, I applied. They had a vacancy called faculty position. So I applied, the posting was in Bombay. So the position, they say assistant director, which is equivalent to lecturer. So I joined in 87, and then after maybe 6 months time, there was a project came under UNDP, United Nations Development Program. Luckily, I was selected, so I went to USA.
Achha.
So I studied in School of Packaging, Michigan State University. And School of Packaging today in the world is #1 in packaging.
Right.
And that has really opened my eyes once I was in US, and I could see
1 year program?
No, it was about 4 months, and then I extended further. So then I applied for a PhD also, because I was so much fascinated to CFTRI, at MSU, the School of Packaging. So I completed, because there was a bond, you have to come back to the institute. I came back and I joined there. Immediately I was transferred to Delhi.
Acha.
So IIP, Indian Institute of Packaging, was only in Bombay that time, and there was a Chennai and Calcutta, 3 branches. Delhi was a new branch.
Achha.
So they thought, since I am trained from US, I was just transferred to Delhi. Then I went to Delhi. I started working maybe in 89. I came back and then I went to Delhi. And that time, 1990, the Government of India has a liberalization policy.
Right.
You know that. So the liberalization, the post-liberalization policy, all the government, they have a different policy for the institutes like Indian Institute of Packaging. Indian Institute of Packaging, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, all the institutes, Government of India made it as an autonomous.
Achha.
So we thought autonomous means something fancy word. We didn't know much about what is autonomous. Then really we understood autonomous means government is not paying you salaries. So you have to stand on your own, and you have to generate your own revenue.
Self-sustainable.
Self-sustainable. But government will pay you the capital, the capex what they say, and opex is not there. And till today the same story. Government has stopped giving our salary. I think slowly they stopped the grant from 90 to 95, and I was given responsibilities. And that time government, since the policies change, even the institute also, the governing council has made a change that not like in any government that based on your seniority you will get the promotion and all. they also change. It's all based on the performance.
Okay.
And that has really helped me. I was little workaholic from the beginning, and I wanted to show my performance. So that's helped me, that how can I really show my performance to the institute at Delhi. And I could supersede many of my seniors, and within 90, so within 7 years, the first promotion I got deputy director. When I became deputy director, and I went in charge of IIP Delhi.
Wow.
And I may be the youngest as an in charge, because at the age of 32, I am the head of IIP Delhi Center.
Wow, 32.
And then once I took over the responsibility, I realized that if you really want to stand on your own, the best part is you have to collaborate, or you have to be a very good PRO with your packaging industry.
Correct.
And that was my first time I started with working with, that time I'm talking something like in 94, when I became the in charge of Delhi Center. That time the big industry, like in flexible plastic, the U-Flex was coming. In North India, whichever the industry. So U-Flex one very closely started working with U-Flex and many other industry. So we started conference, education, and you see the very interesting part in Institute of Packaging is not any industry, it is a service body. So to generate the revenue, giving a service to the industry is a big challenge. And you have to generate the revenue, you sustain yourself. Government say you can take any number of people you can employ, but the salary you have to pay. So I know but how much people I need, but at the same time I have to generate the revenue. It's like your own company you have to run.
Right.
So that's the way I was trying to do it, but since of my lot of work, I could generate the revenue, double the income, what was happening. And I don't want to say what the figure, but I know what the figure I did it. And within 3 years, again I could supersede many people. And within 3 years, I became joint director.
Okay.
So the joint director position, again, it's not easy. Normally in the government, it takes about 7 to 8 years. But within 3 years, I became joint director.
Very nice.
So that's I became 97. I became joint director. Joint director is something
based
like
in Delhi or Mumbai?
Based in Delhi. Based in Delhi. That's a position called associate professor.
Okay.
So in IIP, like assistant director is lecturer, deputy director is assistant professor, then joint director is associate professor. So I became associate professor. And then joint director I was working, and IIP runs a very prestigious course which is called 2 years postgraduate diploma in packaging.
Okay.
Which was started in 1983, 85 it was started, 87 the first batch came out when I joined at IIP. So that course was running only in Bombay, and all over India student has to come. The number of students was early 20, then increased to 50 and all. So there was a demand that why not we start in Delhi. So I was the first person to took the initiative. So in 2020, we say millennium. So that time I took lot of initiative, and the same course, same syllabus, we started in Delhi.
In year 2000?
In 2000. So that time IIP started the 2-year course, 2 places, Bombay and Delhi. And Delhi I was heading, so I took lot of, and it's a very difficult from the scratch you have to start. You have a syllabus, you don't have faculty. So you have to really search the faculty, and there are subjects are like that. There are about 20 subjects, 10 subjects packaging, 10 are non-packaging. Like you have a mechanical engineering, electronic engineering, all this,
affiliates
subjects.
Which indirectly affects.
Yeah, you have a statistics, you have an economics.
Correct.
So all subjects, teacher you have to search. So that was a big task, getting the faculty from Delhi University and other big institute, IIT Delhi, they also helped me, Delhi Engineering College, and then Netaji was Engineering College. From there all the faculty was drawn and the course was started. Initially I took something like, if I remember, about 20 students, which is 16th batch. Now many of my students now, they are in a very big position.
I'm sure.
Someone is head of sustainability in Unilever, and all these FMCG company they are working.
Sure.
So 16 batch I started, I was there for 3 years, 16, 17, 18, 19, 4 years the batches were started. Again, based on the performance, I was little fast as compared to the normal pace, I should say. So again, I was on the limelight that I need to be promoted. So 2004, in fact 2000 itself, 97, then 2001 itself, I was offered for a professor post. Just within 4 years, but I was really reluctant to come to Bombay because I was totally settled in Delhi. So then again 2003 and 2004 again I was offered. And 2004 when I was offered the professor post, that post is only in Bombay. in the head office. So you can't stay back
Delhi
in
and
Delhi.
do
It's a
that.
small branch office. So I took this offer in 2004. I said, okay, I'll come to Bombay. So I came 2004 to Bombay. But 2004 I didn't come. 2005, in fact, I came in the beginning. I shifted to Bombay and Bombay campus at Andheri,
Yeah.
where I started staying there. So I became the head of the laboratory. All the country, the 4 branch like Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, Chennai, this 4 branch. Then eventually we started a center at Hyderabad. So the 5 branch laboratory, I was the head of the laboratory. And as an additional director and professor, I was working. So 2004 to 2009. To 2009, again there is a vacancy came, and that post is a director post. The head of the institute. And till that time, the IIP director in the government segment, it was in a director level. But in my time when this vacancy came, the entire recruitment rule have been changed. And the recruitment rule, they made a lot of criteria. The person should be a 20 years experience and so on.
Okay.
And the post has been elevated. The post has been elevated as a joint secretary.
Okay.
So that
in the
came
government of
India, because we are under the Commerce Ministry. The Commerce Ministry changed all the recruitment rule, recruitment selection committee, everything changed. And once you are in a joint secretary, so you are on that level, your
Correct.
selection has to be in a
Of
different
that
manner
caliber.
by the government and all. So 2009 again I have to go for all the selection procedure. So initially government is, because the post can't be kept vacant even for 1 hour. This post has to be somewhere.
It has to be filled.
So my predecessor, when he left the organization, the governing council has given me charge, but ministry has to give me. So ministry has given me a letter that you are an officiating director till the new incumbent comes. So within 3 to 4 months it took time. So immediately all the selection happened. I have to go on the same procedure, all the selection process.
I'm sure.
And that in the selection there is a professor from IIT, there is a bureaucrat who is sitting on the selection
IAS
procedure.
officer.
So everything you have to go through. So after that I became permanent director, and then I continued till 2019.
Lovely.
The 10 years I was there.
Oh.
But that was the time I believe whatever I could do in my life, in my career, I have done it. I worked almost 18 hours in a day.
Oh,
I
18 hours.
never took it as a government job, and I started staying in the campus. I used to go morning 9, 10 o'clock in the office, come night 10 o'clock. 12 hours I used to be in the office. I used to work on Saturday, Sunday and all. The whole thing, you are the head of the institute. That means you have to think about a lot of responsibility. And responsibility not only the institute, you have to be a self-sustainable.
I'm sure that's most important. You have to generate revenue that the institute salaries are paid.
Yeah, I have about 100 employee and all the 100 family to be taken
care of. Yeah.
So that's your big responsibility. So what I thought that if you really want to increase your income, the generating the revenue income, you need to expand your activities like any industry they're doing. So my number of students, Bombay and Delhi was something like put together about 100 students.
Achha.
So I thought, okay, let's start this course. Why only the North India? Let's start in East. So I started in East also. The Calcutta IIP also started 2-year course.
Okay.
That was in 2010. 2011 I started in Hyderabad.
Achha.
So then Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Hyderabad was the 4th center, the 2-year course started. I think even now the 4 courses are going on. As a result, my number of students has increased, and that has given you the revenue. And but there was a cap that because of the government, you have to keep 50% for reservation for SC, ST, OBC.
Correct.
So there was a decision taken by the board that why not we increase to 500. So at least we get 250. 50% you get a general candidate. Because we used to get a lot of general candidate. But very interesting, like tell you, there was a trend earlier, this 2-year course, mostly the science student used to come. But I could see that 2010-11 the trend is changed. Now mostly 100% students are coming engineering background.
Oh.
So all engineering, even today from that time, even now, I think now it is 37, 38 batch is going on. Mostly the engineering students they come. And engineering, not civil.
So what was attracting them towards it?
Because you see today, if you see a simple graduate, he does a mechanical engineering or chemical engineering, his job opportunity is very limited. So if he says that, okay, let me do a specialized course. Today, aaj ke zamana specialization. You do something
So
special.
is this a MTech program or a diploma program?
No, we give postgraduate diploma.
So it's like a diploma.
It's a postgraduate diploma. It's a 2-year course.
Okay.
Because institute is not an university. So that's the reason we cannot give a degree. So that was one of the shortcomings of that courses. But I thought, you see, I am in a trouble in the sense, a big challenge, because you are on the chair and you have to take care of the institute, at the same time you have to grow. So I thought, okay, let the PG course going on. So I started many new courses, the 3 months course, 18 months course. You know, you have a platter like a different educational activity, short-term course, industry customized course, all these things started. And that is one of the income source for the institute. But another biggest income even today, it comes from the testing. Indian Institute of Packaging, I can say this is one of the institute has got the best testing facility in the country.
Wow.
Government of India has invested over the period of last so many years, so much money. If anyone wants to have a testing activity, IIP has got all facilities.
Some examples you can suggest,
For
which has
example,
helped the
like-
government or private large companies in their business?
Yeah, I tell you, there are certain tests related to the food packaging. Those testing facility normally, normal laboratory does not have what IIP has got. Like something called global migration, specific migration. More importantly, this laboratory, which I got it accredited by NABL, National Accreditation Board for Testing Calibration, as per ISO 17025. So that has helped the credibility of the laboratory. So this I have to do because I need a business.
Right.
And as a result, I thought that the testing income has gone up. So that was the first challenge for me in 2010, that you increase your educational activity, you increase your testing, make the testing laboratory more accredited. So people have got I got a trust and confidence about the IIP laboratory, and that's how the income started. Then we started getting a lot of projects from the government. In fact, I was almost 26 committees under the Government of India. I was in the board of APIDA, MPIDA, Tea Board, Coffee Board, all this Government of India, Commerce Ministry.
Everything needs packaging.
Yeah, everything needs packaging. You want to export tea, you need a good packaging. You want to export fish, you need MPIDA, you need a good packaging.
Correct.
So I was at the board as an expert, and many board, and that was helping me having a direct contact with all these
industry,
all these trade. They are all called the organization called export bodies,
right?
And their job is to promote the export from India,
right?
So I was trying to get them that, and very interestingly, what IIP was doing for any exportable goods. If you want to need a packaging, there is no specification.
No specification.
No specifications.
Oh.
So exporter, they are all depending on the vendor. But ये ऐसा carton बना दो, ये strength बना दो, क्या बना दो?
Standardization
नहीं है, specification नहीं है. Like doctor gives a prescription, so there was no standardization. So that project I was taking from the institute.
Lovely.
So एपिडा को अगर कुछ पैक करके भेजना है, like grapes they want to export. No, grapes का what could be the packaging? So the packaging specs was developed by IIP.
Lovely.
The meat, fish has to be exported. कैसे पैक करे? What would be the specification? क्या उसका ग्रामेज होना चाहिए? How to the breathing film? All the standards used to be developed by IIP. So that was IIP's another chunk of income was coming. So I started getting. So as a result, I think within 1 year I could get 30%, something like the initial. Then I made it to 30%, then 40%. By the time I reached to 7 years, my growth was around 300%. So that's the way the OPEX has gone up. And so I could do, and I took few of the, my USP, that what all I should do. One of the best part of the IIP, the testing from India, any dangerous goods need to be exported. The Government of India has given you the responsibility to check the packages for dangerous goods. Somebody wants to export acid, somebody wants to export, let's say, chemical. So you need to take a certificate from IIP. That's a mandatory certification. And that's a chunk of income for IIP. And that we say United Nations certificate, UN certificate. So UN certificate is one of the major chunk of income for IIP. So that I started expanding the activity. So any exporter come, they should not say, "You IIP में ये check नहीं हो सकता." IIP can do everything. Everything. So the laboratory was 4 or 5. I made it 9 laboratories.
Lovely.
Now somebody wants to export from India, you might have called a Jumbo bag. That is your
flexible integrated bulk carriers, FIBC.
You know, we are from that packaging side. So that IBC or FIBC testing was not there.
Right.
So I made a laboratory at Andheri office that, okay, why not I should do the testing.
Lovely.
So all the equipment I installed it. So the FIBC manufacturer, they started getting interest, and that is increasing my income level. So that was the income coming. Then the government of India, like I very closely worked with the Ministry of Food Processing.
Okay.
And today also, if you look at about the consumption of packaging, almost 70% packaging consumption is for food and beverage.
I'm sure.
So the food industry are really looking for a packaging.
Right.
So the Ministry of Food Processing had a scheme that how to promote called awareness program. So that I made a very close contact with the ministry and tell them that yes, IIP can do it. And those program I started doing. If I remember, I think in the year of 14-15, we organized about 50 conferences across the country. 50.
Wow.
50
Creating awareness on
food packaging.
Wow.
That food packaging now, all the small cities, all the tier cities like Visakhapatnam for meat product, packaging of meat. We are doing place something like Nagpur. We are doing program Jaipur. Name all the tier cities, the 50 cities have been covered within 2 years. So my idea was not only the increase the revenue and make it sustainable, my also idea was how soon I can make the Indian Institute of Packaging at the global level.
Wow.
That was my whole idea. So if you really want to make an image building, then you need to do all this. So that has really not helped me the money, it has also built the image of the institute.
Correct.
The first time IIP could organize training program for African people. So 35 East Africa people, they came, they all stayed in IIP, but where do stay? So the hostel, I just renovated the hostel, make it like a 3-star facility.
Very nice.
So they all came, they stayed here. Each program, I did almost 6 programs we did within 2 years time. And African programs are coming. Shark countries people are coming, we are doing organization program. There's an international body called World Packaging Organization. The World Packaging Organization has got 52 country members. India is also a member.
Right.
And normally IIP director, he goes as a board member. So I also started going as a board member, travel almost 46 countries, different places because the board meeting is happening. But I was thinking that what is the main source of income for WPO? Now the WPO, they conduct a competition called World Star. Like we have a Miss India, World India, something like. This is just to encourage the packaging industry in terms of excellence in design.
Lovely.
So the World Star Award is a very prestige. So the World Star Award, who can get? You can get an India Star. So first you have to do India Star. We were doing India Star competition from 1972. Early industry like something like let's say 200 people, they are giving the entry and all. So I made a target, let's put 1,000. So we couldn't reach 1,000, but we reached almost 700 entry came.
Lovely.
So 700 entry came and almost 200, 250 India Star came. So India Star, once you're India Star, you are eligible for World Star, you can go for Asia Star. So I remember 2014 when that World Star was happening, I was the judge and India got the highest number of entry, which I got acknowledgement from the Minister of Commerce also. The India could reach to that level and India got 48 entry out of something 64 entry. So that way, the awareness image. And the image building.
Positive image building.
I could reach to the institute to a global level that how best I can really make your image of the country. It should not consider it's like a government body. We are very closely working with the industry. And industry support was coming because the entry is coming from the industry. So as a result, I was also recognized the first time from India. I was selected from the World Packaging Organization as a vice president.
Okay.
So 2015, I became vice president and I was there for 3 years till 2018. Similarly, there is another international body and that's called Asian Packaging Federation. All these Southeast Asian region, they have India, China, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and all. So there I was elected as a secretary general. And I was the longest duration from 13 to 18, 6 years I was the secretary general. And there was an Asia Star. So Asia Star, Suppose China or Thailand, they give something like 10 or 20 entries. I was giving 100 entries, 200 entries. So idea is, and all the industry is giving. So industry is also getting recognized.
Right.
The industry is feeling happy that I am recognized to the global level.
Right.
And that's was the whole idea, that how can you really build the image of the institute.
Lovely.
So that was the one what we could do it. And as a result, then I became 2018. I was made as the third vice president of Asian Packaging Federation. Even today, I am the permanent APF. Today the meeting is going on at Manila. I could not reach there. This is our APF meeting is going on.
Okay.
So that was the journey started. But one, the best part what I did in 2015, IIP completed 50 years.
Okay.
And that I am fortunate that during my tenure, IIP has to celebrate Golden Jubilee.
Acha.
So we had a discussion in the board, and the board asked me that what is your plan. I said 12 months, 12 event. So they say, where is the money will come? And all industry will pay. So I made a big budget, all industry. I said that you are all on the board. There are 15 managing directors. So all you have to take the responsibility. It's not my or your institute. It's the institute
It's
of
our
the joint.
institute, yeah.
It's a government and private both together. And industry is so supportive. And we did 12 events, 12 months throughout the Golden Jubilee year.
Wow.
And I could invite our Union Commerce Minister. I've invited Governor of Maharashtra. Throughout the year we did. And the best part we did in 2015, we did a World Packaging Congress. And that was one of the biggest. And I knew that to do so at Hotel Renaissance at Mumbai, they have a very big target. They gave me 400 room night. You have to get
400 room nights.
400 room night.
God.
Where to get people? So I started promoting this event from 2010. I was going every country. I was talking, come to India. India is so and so. You have to do and marketing. And 35 countries they came. And the event, 3 days event, I expanded it to 5 days. So I know a lot of people will stay here. And almost 150 room night has gone by the foreigners. They came. So we had a huge event in 2015. About 1200 delegates came. 35 country participated. I invited our union minister to come and inaugurate this conference and all. And that was a big event. And that has made India in a very top level, that we are not really on a very developing country, though still we are developing country. I think our
But
Prime
in terms
Minister
of
is
packaging,
talking, in terms of packaging, I tried to make it in a great level. So that was a big satisfaction for me. But another big project for me during my tenure was how I can really make this institute as an university.
Okay.
That was a big mission for me, which I
Acha.
started thinking from 2010. Because as on date, the institute is giving you only the postgraduate diploma.
Correct.
But the student, this course is 2 years, but 1.5 years they're in the institute, and the 6th month they go for industrial training or project. But this course is well recognized. Today my students across the world, they are in a very high position. Someone is a global packaging head and all. Salary wise, good package they are getting, highly packaged. Someone has reached to even 100 lakhs package.
Wow.
It's a good institute and good demand.
I think, as you said, this is the only institute for packaging.
Exactly.
So probably every packaging manager in this country has to be a byproduct of IIP.
Yeah, there are, yes, today, if
More or less.
Or top line, all are from the IIP students are coming. There one private college has also come,
Right.
but mostly people prefer from IIP because it's a government institute. But the only difficulty, since it's not a university, we can't get the degree.
Yes.
Now, why the degree thing came in my mind, I was realizing that we have a huge shortage of faculty.
Okay.
Even today in the country, you find that packaging faculty is difficult.
Difficult.
Now, if you want to make an university as per UGC structure, you need a doctorate. Where will get doctorate packaging?
With a diploma program, it's not possible.
First, you need a master, then only go for degree. So I said that all students are coming with a degree, but they are not coming for packaging BTech. They are coming mechanical BTech, chemical BTech and all. See, if we can have an university, we can start at a BTech in packaging, MTech packaging, PhD in packaging.
Correct.
And that itself will become a very new thing for the country. You got a lot of faculty. So this will become a faculty generation.
Right.
First few years you will be trouble, and then you get a lot of faculty.
Yeah.
But today, doctorate faculty is not available in packaging. Probably I may be the first one. I did my PhD in packaging management.
Oh, okay.
So, and you will not get, because people are, but there are all brilliant people who are working in the industry. They have a good subject knowledge, and in the institute we do invite them. They come as a guest faculty. But the institute, you need your own faculty from the packaging background. Then you need this course.
Right.
So that was one of the ambitions which I started promoting and talking to the government. Government has given me the direction that you make this institute as a deemed university. That I get in 2011 itself.
Okay.
So 11 they said you make it at a deemed university, or you make it an institute of national importance, which is called INI.
Like IITs.
Like IITs. So
Okay.
INI comes under Act of Parliament. And it's very difficult, but initially I thought let me go to the deemed university. But this course is a technical course, so you need a clearance from UGC, clearance from AICT. So all these, I don't know how many meetings I did, maybe 30, 40 meetings in different level I was doing. Almost every week, twice I'm going to Delhi and going here. They are getting the idea that how we should really make it.
Right.
Then they make as per UGC, they are given all my, the protocol that this institute, director's cabin so much, his house so much, there should be a playground.
These are all the prerequisites.
All the prerequisites. Their classroom should be that this dimension and all, so many students. So all the infrastructure, but you need fund. So IIP used to get a fund within 5 years in a very niche fund, something like 200 lakhs. For a 5 years, which is a very small amount.
Right.
Small amount as a government of India is a big. Government of India's budget in the Commerce Ministry budget itself in 1,000 crore.
Yes.
So the first time I applied for 100 crore. So 100 crore was a big money.
Vision of 50 times.
Yes, I made it 50 times. I said, agar 100 mangunga, to kam se kam 50 to dega. But government also, they sanction about 70 crore.
Lovely.
But I tell you, spending money is more difficult than getting money. The government has a lot of rules, regulation you have to follow. And I don't think till my 10 years I could spend more than 45 crores.
Okay.
You can't.
So as we speak, what is the status of Institute of National Importance for IIP?
No, National Institute, the infrastructure was required. We made a 8-story building as a hostel of around 425 capacity. We made a 5-story building of a college, the laboratory, everything has been done.
The infrastructure is ready.
Infrastructure ready, it was inaugurated by Commerce Minister, everything is done. The biggest problem came the faculty.
Oh,
So
again
the
faculty.
Because the faculty, as per UGC, there is a ratio. If you want to do a course on a BTech, you need a minimum 60 students. Now 60 means there is a ratio 1:12. 12 student, 1 faculty. And if you do MTech, because you have to do an MTech course on a 5 department, 18 minimum numbers, so 18 into 5, 90. So every 15 students you need 1 faculty.
Achha.
So that's kind of ratio has come. So when I calculated, I need something like 47 faculty and non-faculty also, put together something like 70 new people to be appointed. So a lot of discussion happened with the ministry that existing people, where they will go. So their question is, if you become INI, your bread and butter is the testing. So that will keep on going.
Correct.
That testing will keep on going. Your INI advantage, you are not in university. So your 2 years diploma can be stopped, but you can continue with 3 months course on all the short-term courses. So the revenue flow is continuing, and you make a degree, MTech, BTech, MTech, PhD, that can start.
Correct.
So that was the whole idea. But the faculty appointment, getting,
So, with your experience, any solution for the current team there?
I don't know, Beggy.
What can be done to make it into an INI?
Whoever now will be leading the institute, he has to really think of it. Maybe you have to some kind of dilution to be done. Some norms, and not necessarily the PhD, because you may not get a PhD faculty. You may have to do some kind of dilution initial few years, maybe. Correct. You have to start with the masters.
First 2-3 years, there has to be some.
So that's the way the faculty creation is become a big. So that was the thing which I think, which was the only mission which I could not complete, because my time was.
But the vision is there. I think that it will be really nice for people. The vision that you had in terms of making it into equivalent to an IIT.
Yes.
So that vision can be taken forward by your.
I submitted a vision document to the Minister of Commerce. The vision document talks about what should be the institute. The whole idea was how the packaging industry can grow, and where from you get the technocrat. And
Right.
today, what the technocrat coming, they are all good people, but their only thing, see, out of 200 or 50, maybe at least 20 are ready to go to the education.
Right.
Education, everyone
Right.
is going.
Right.
My idea was that if you start that course, maybe after 5 years, maybe 10% of students, they will be interested to go to the education.
Absolutely.
So those becomes your faculty.
Correct.
That was the whole
Correct.
idea.
So you have to make that glamorous by making it into a degree
exactly,
course.
degree course. But
Yes.
degree was one which I could not complete.
And packaging becoming such an important aspect of any export or any sale. Without packaging, nothing can happen.
Today, anything you want to do a business, you need packaging.
Packaging.
You need packaging.
So
whether
that's-
it is a domestic, whether an export, everywhere you need.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
You worked so closely with the ministry, with the government, the commerce ministry, and different other ministries. So, what is the kind of importance that the packaging as a segment has in the ministry? What is your been your experience?
I think in the commerce ministry, many people ask me why the Institute of Packaging as an education, it's not under HRD. It was in a commerce because from the beginning, the institute was under commerce ministry because
Okay.
commerce ministry for export promotion. So IIP, one of the mandate was promotion of export.
Okay.
So that's why we are under the commerce ministry.
Okay.
So government of India, especially the commerce ministry, is giving a lot of emphasis on packaging, and
Okay.
that's why they have been investing money for the last, I think it's almost 57 years. Because 2015 was the 50 years, the 8 years is the 58 years is going on. So government of India is making because all the export commodity board like tea board, coffee board, you have a spice board. The last, as I told you about last few days back, I was invited as a guest speaker
Right.
for the World Spice Congress,
Acha.
and our commerce minister came there. I was one of the speaker. I was very surprised to see that India in the spice export is number one.
Is it?
Number one
In the world?
in the world today.
Wow.
And we are the largest exporter of spices to China. So
We are exporting to China.
And
Oh,
China
lovely.
fully depend on spice import from India.
Wow.
And this we need to take it further.
Superb.
And
And I
we-
think the people doesn't know. I mean, even in our packaging industry, not many would know
Exactly.
that we are the world leaders in spice packaging.
No, some people, the exporter, they had a discussion with me. They have little problem like spice. Some spices have been rejected. Why? Because they say, most of the spices, the whole spice, they pack it in a gunny bag, which comes from West
Correct.
Bengal side.
Correct.
So it has got some smell because it's coming. So how to remove? See, there are certain challenges.
Correct.
People think packing means just wrapping the product. Not
No,
so.
no, no,
not
not
so.
at
It's
all.
a huge technology.
Correct, correct.
And I spent my whole life and even because of my food technology background, anything if it comes on a food product, I immediately think of it. I always used to talk to my student the mantra for food packaging. First you ask, who are you? That means product will start talking to you that I am so and so.
Correct.
Then second question, how are you? That means how the product gets spoiled. Okay, so that's called how are you. The third question is that where do you stay? That means where the product will be marketed. It is in Bombay or it's in Kashmir or it's a temperate region, tropic, because the climate is a big
It
effect for
decides
the
the
shelf
factor,
life.
yeah.
And the fourth question is how long? What is the life you are expecting?
Oh.
So if I'm
Basic questions.
basic. So these four questions, if someone can answer it, you are a food packaging specialist. So these I used to ask to my students, all classes
very
when I
nice,
used to take
very
class, that these four questions you should know. First, you understand about the product, whether it is a spice.
Who are you? How are you?
Where do you stay?
Where do you stay?
How long?
How long?
These four questions. And that is the basic mantra of food packaging.
Then you become a food packaging expert.
Yeah,
You should
then
know
you
this.
can, because the moment you start, because I tell you very big example, we say bread and biscuit. The bread is made from maida, biscuit is made from maida.
Correct.
But if you ask a bread that who are you, the bread will say that I am made from wheat flour. I got a moisture content of 36%. That's why my crumb is very soft and you like it. Bread will say that's the bread. The biscuit will say I am also made from flour, but I have got only moisture content 2%. If you keep me on outside, I'll pick up the moisture from environment. I become soft and soggy. I stick to your teeth. You don't like me. So you understood what he wants.
Correct,
So who
correct,
are you?
correct.
Will give that. Second is how do you spoil? Then bread will say that if you want to keep me fresh, you need a packaging material which is a moisture barrier.
Right.
So bread is a problem. The 36% moisture, bread gets dried off.
Right.
Bread gets dry, you don't like it. Shelf
Right.
life has gone. Biscuit is opposite. Biscuit they don't dry, they pick up.
Right.
So it becomes. So for picking is a problem and drying is also a problem. So
Right.
you need a moisture barrier.
Right.
If you take a potato chips, the potato chips which is a starch, and you just dry it, and the people used to do sun drying. Now automation you can do it. Bring down the moisture content up to 2%. Then you fry it in oil, deep fry, and then you put the spices and all and make it tasty and all. Why we like it? Because crispy and it goes as a snack foods. Now if you put a packaging, who are you and how are you, ask this question, the chips will say that I am moisture content 2%, I am very crispy, crunchy. Now if you don't put me in a packaging, I'll start picking up. And another problem in chips packaging, because it's a fried in oil, so you need an oxygen barrier.
Right.
If you don't have an oxygen barrier, it got oxidized and it got rancid. So that's why you find the old chips has got a bitter taste, because there is an oxidation has happened.
Okay.
There is also a problem about the light barrier, because sunlight has got an ultraviolet light which acts as a catalyst and which accelerates the oxidation process. So it is asking you the how are you, it talks you that you need a packaging for the chips which is a moisture barrier, which is a light barrier, which is an oxygen barrier, it should be sealable, you need an aroma barrier. So all the demand is coming from the product. So you have to ask the product, what do you need? How to get spoiled. Suppose he said how long you are making a chips business and you want to sell it within 24 hours. You don't need very, very sophisticated packaging. But if you say, no, I want to sell it for 3 months, then you have to need a very sophisticated package.
Correct.
Another big example I can give you, like a Tetra Pak.
Yeah.
Many people say that Tetra Pak, the normal mango juice, if you just extract the juice, keep it in a glass, and the mango juice will remain for a few hours and immediately it gets spoiled.
Yes.
Because it gets fermented. But the same juice, if you put a Tetra Pak, which is a 6-month shelf life, without refrigeration, the question comes, how it has done it? So this is called aseptic technology. It's an aseptic package.
Right.
That means the product is sterile, the material is sterile, the environment is sterile. When the packing was done, it is a sterile environment. Now to do so, you have to do so much sophistication in the packaging structure. So the design of packaging is very important. So you got a Tetra Pak carton, which we say, Tetra Pak is the name of the company, but actually it is called paper-based laminated composite carton.
Correct.
That's the actual term. If you make the composite carton, because I am also chairing many committees and Bureau of Indian Standard, so we have just published one standard that on composite carton standard for the liquid product. So when you sterilize it, it is sterilized at a very high temperature, 130 degrees centigrade for 2 seconds time. So you need a material which can withstand that heat. So you need an aluminum foil.
Right.
So in the Tetra Pak carton, the middle layer is aluminum which takes the heat. Then you need a body. So body is the paper board, which is 30 GSM, now 60 GSM paper board. And board and foil in between, you can't use any kind of adhesives. It has to be food grade. So you use a polyethylene. So it becomes how many layers? 3 layers. So you got a foil, you got a polyethylene extrusion coating, you got a paper board. So 3 layers. Paper board will be printed. But the print during transit, there is a chances of scratching, which is called scuff proof. So you need another layer on the top. So it becomes 4 layers. So aluminum foil, and you put a mango juice or any other acidic food, it starts reacting. So you need another course, you got another polyethylene, it becomes 5 layers. Now in Tetra Pak, you've seen so complicated the carton structure, the corner, it might get whole. So you need another polyethylene, which we say LLDPE, which is you have to use a very easy, because contaminated seal is to done. So you put another polyethylene, it becomes 6 layers. Now the 6 layer structure, it has not come by the choice. It is by compulsion by the product, because product you ask, who are you? Product will say, I am so and so and I need that. And that's the packaging.
That's how packaging is evolved
That's
and
the
developed.
packaging involvement. So in Government of India also, when we talk in the export packaging, all the time we talks about the shelf life. Whether it is a spice, whether it is a tea product, everywhere you think that how long the product can be retained. Otherwise, that's how the packaging.
Then the packaging is defined. Lovely.
Yeah.
Superb. Lovely journey.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've retired. You told me it's been 3-4 years. So, what are you currently doing? I'm sure with the energy and passion that you have, you don't look you look your age. But in terms of your energy and passion, you're more like a 30-40-year-old.
No.
So, how are you keeping yourself busy?
No, I feel if I don't work, I'll become sick.
Okay.
I am little workaholic. Even now, I work almost 18 hours. Even now.
Is it? What are you doing?
The way I was working. I feel I am more busy than earlier.
Tell us.
Okay, I was first after my superannuation. I don't say retire. I say superannuation.
Okay, let's use
After
superannuation.
superannuation, IIT Delhi, they invited me as a visiting professor. They introduced a course on packaging technology, one credit course. It's open elective. They have a department called Material Science and Engineering. So I was invited. I started taking class for MTech and PhD students. Then 2020, Embassy of Netherlands, they have a project called INDAS, that is called Indo-Dutch Sustainability Forum. So the whole idea came in North India. You might have seen the paddy stubbles,
Yeah.
which is normally burnt
Right.
during the winter time.
Right.
That all because when the rabi crop, which is we say the rice, is been harvested,
Right.
and next you have to sow your wheat. The in between, the farmers get hardly 20 days time. So within 20 days time, the hectare of land need to be cleaned. Very interestingly, the rice, the paddy, which is grown in waterlogging area. Many people may not see that what is the problem. The basic problem is the agriculture crop management is different, because the paddy it grows in waterlogging area and wheat grows in a dry area.
Oh.
So the farmer gets 20 days time. Within 20 days time, the entire hectares of land need to be cleaned and dried, because all the water to be removed and dried to sow the wheat. So
अच्छा.
how they will do it?
तो हाँ कैसे
Such a
करते
short
हैं?
time.
How do they do it?
So they say चलो burn कर देते. And that's why the burning going on. And this is going on like so many years. And burning is a problem because if you go to
pollution.
in October, November, now this is the time if you go, and before the rain comes, everybody is putting the mask. Even before COVID, Delhi people used to use mask.
the mask.
And then it comes the fog, we say smog. The smog started coming. Breathing is a problem. Lot of the asthma patient has come. Then the rain comes. The Delhi, all the things
Settles
settle
down.
So the Dutch government thought that's an idea. So they have taken me. I joined there as an advisor, chief advisor as a packaging. My whole idea is that how best we can utilize those raw material, the paddy stubbles, to be used as a raw material for paper and packaging.
Oh, lovely.
So today in India, all the paper industry, very surprisingly, paper by bookish knowledge, we say the raw material of paper is a wood.
Yeah.
There are two kinds of wood, softwood and hardwood.
Correct.
Softwood is a long fiber, the less water absorption. Hardwood is a short water absorption. So hardwood, which is a long, short fiber, and water absorption is more. And in India, because of the climatic zone, we are a tropical country or subtropical, you can say. We don't grow any softwood. Whatever the softwood we have in the temperate, in the hilly region, Himalaya region, that's all restricted. You can't cut the tree and all. So we are not making paper from wood at all. So we are using paper either from bamboo or from bagasse.
अच्छा.
The bagasse is, which is the
Sugarcane का.
sugarcane residue. तो उसका जो लेंथ ऑफ द फाइबर इज इनकॉन्सिस्टेंट. यो पता नहीं कि क्या लॉन्ग है, शॉर्ट है, कभी छोटा कभी बड़ा. तो एज ए रिजल्ट नंबर ऑफ जॉइंट्स इज मोर, द पेपर इज वीक. मेनी पीपल से कि भाई हमारी पेपर, द यूरोपियन पेपर, स्कैंडिनेवियन पेपर से कमज़ोर है, बिकॉज आवर रॉ मटेरियल इज अ प्रॉब्लम. So people are also using wheat stalk. They use for even the husk we are using for writing paper and all.
अच्छा.
So I thought, why not the paddy stubbles? So I started working on that project with the Institute of Sustainability. There is a Netherlands institute that also I talked. Then what I realized that paddy stubbles had got a silica content. It's about varies from 9% to 20%, and depending on the geographical location, you get a different percentage. Those silica content creating a problem during the pulping process, and that's why the paper industry, they don't like it. And so our issue came that who can do the desiliconization. That's the technology. So I joined during COVID time. 20 I couldn't work. 21 end of 21 I started working. So then there is no technology. पूरा घूम के पता चला हमारे इंडिया में एक इंस्टीट्यूट है, that's under Commerce Ministry. That's called Central Pulp and Paper Research Institute,
CPR.
CPPRI, Saranpur. They have a technology, desiliconization, is a patented technology. So we contacted to them and we gave that. They wanted a fund, but embassy does not have an R&D fund. Then we said, okay, start working with the industry. So one industry from Punjab, they have started. I did some trial and all. That's the work I started doing. Meanwhile, I am on the board of 3-4 packaging industry. I am on the board. So this I am doing for my earning, whatever I want to earn. And then many government bodies I am involved, like Bureau of Indian Standard. We make the formulation of standard. It's not for money. I just want to give service to the country. I was the chairman for 6 committees when I was the director, but now I am chairman of 3 committees. I am the chairman of not plastic, I was there. Now I am in the metal packaging, container committee. Then I am also in the transport packaging. So BIS I am involved. Recently, under Commerce Ministry, EPIDA has launched a new mission called NPNP.
Okay.
That is our country. What I have understood, that is no more organic. It's called natural. So the natural agriculture, natural horticulture. Now EPIDA has constituted many committees at national level. So one committee called natural packaging.
Okay.
So they asked me, they requested me that you take president. So I am now on the chair, so on the natural packaging. So I need to promote bamboo, jute. There's all natural.
Those kind of natural materials.
Even that relates to my my paddy stubble work.
Yeah, they're all.
So
related.
that also. So these are the various committee I'm involved. Meanwhile, I thought all my journey, the last so many years I'm on the packaging, I should do something for the society. So that was my whole idea came. So in 2020, one of the lockdown stage, the best part what I did, there was a request from a publisher called Springer.
Okay.
The Springer, they requested me to write a book on food packaging. Wow. So that request came in 2015. So I said, as long as I'm on the chair, I have no time working for the institutes. So 2020 was the best time for me. So I completed the book. So this is about...
What is the name of the book?
This is called Food Packaging, Techniques, Material and Environmental Issue. Okay. Along with me, one professor from IIT Delhi, Dr. Anup Ghosh, he has written also
co-written the book.
Co-written there, and 2 professors from Delhi University. But out of 10 chapters, I wrote 7 chapters. Mainly,
nice.
I have to take the lead because the packaging subject.
I'll surely read it. Yeah.
And this book is sold in the market by Springer. I am told that it's something like 1,600 euro. They're selling
1,600 euros.
Euro they're selling.
Holy, that's.
But I got only one book they've given me as a complimentary copy. But that's a Springer book. So when I was writing the book, few of my students started contacting me. They said, after the journey, now you have to do something. So I thought, okay. So I started an NGO. This NGO is called Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, in short form called FIPS. It has got 2 missions, that innovative packaging and circular economy. That becomes very important, because after my superannuation, whatever the project I am doing, I am involved mostly on sustainable packaging. So I thought this is the best opportunity to promote sustainable packaging. So, but I have one friend from industry. He has joined with me as a partner. So we registered this FIPS as a
not-for-profit.
As a non-profit body. It's registered under Section 8(1) as a Companies Act. You can't, as a director, me and my colleague Mr. Banerjee, we can't take a single rupee. But yes, we are not for money here. We want to have a connectivity to the industry.
That's nice.
And give it
and
back
your
to the
way
society.
of giving back to the society.
And
so what all are you doing here?
So this, when I started in 20, 2 of my senior officer at IAS officer, one was the Chief Secretary of Manipur, one is Chief Secretary of Tripura. And I worked with both of them in my Commerce Ministry. I requested both of them, they are retired, but they are involved. Like one of my, they become mentor for this foundation.
Nice.
And there are 2, Padma Shri has become an advisor. My counterpart like NID, National Institute of Design Director, Pradyumna Vyas is an advisor. There's a director, retired director from Environment Ministry. So there are experts from the
high profile people.
Very high people, almost 16, 18 people. So we have signed MOU with 7 institute, 8 institute, including NID, IIT Delhi and all. So we have 2 areas we are working. One is the translational research. What we realize that packaging research industry is doing on their own, and institute is doing on their own. There is no bridge. So we thought our FIPS could be the linkage or bridge between the industry and academy. Okay. So that's called translate the research, called translational research. So that's the one of our mandate. Second is of course the education, different kind of education, but all education very specialized. because normal education IIP is already doing, so we don't want to do anything. But the industry, some industry is looking, but industry is always looking for advanced packaging.
Right.
So which you are talking, we are doing program on a sustainable packaging. So we have a one flagship program called, we started a conference called Responsible Packaging.
Nice.
So we thought sustainability is very small. Let's talk on responsibility, which starts from the raw material manufacturer till the consumer. The consumer should know that what is my responsibility, not to litter. There is a dustbin, but I'm not throwing
it aside. I'm not putting it inside.
Yes. So we said the name called Responsible Packaging, in short form called ResPack. We started the ResPack in last year. The one conference was in Delhi. This year it was in Bombay. Again we announced next year will be in Bombay, called ResPack 24. Nice. It's coming.
Nice.
So that is one we are trying to do. And similarly, National Institute of Design Bhopal, which under Commerce Ministry, they say that they have signed an MOU with us. They say we have been teaching to the students on a design, but the package design is altogether different, because we teach to the students on a product design. So they have signed a MOU with us. So they have been starting a course under the National Educational Policy on a package design, where we will be the faculty to teach to their bidder student. And with their collaboration, we have started an award which is called Responsible Packaging Award.
Wow.
That's the only condition. The people who will give the entry, that needs to be recyclable, so that you don't, the carbon emission is not there, how to reduce that. That's in our mind. This year the first competition has happened. We have got almost more than 300 entry came from the industry, and out of that 127 got the award. The most interesting, the trophy what we made, the NID wanted a very special trophy. It's not from the market like glass or anything. So we floated a competition among the students of NID.
Oh, nice.
So they developed, and they developed a trophy which is very unique trophy. The body is made from bamboo, and the base is wood, no plastic.
Lovely.
We say if you use plastic, it should be recyclable plastic.
Correct.
But anyway, they come out with the idea with the bamboo and wood.
Nice
and
idea.
That trophy is on our, we have given a lot of trophy. So these two flagship program we are doing. So that's all. So many things I am involved.
I'm
today
sure,
you
I'm sure you
have invited me to be here.
I'm sure it's an honor to know about your journey. It's lovely. You've done such phenomenal contribution to the packaging industry in your own way, creating the foundation. I think the most important part is, getting so many students educated and sustaining an institute for such a long time. Agar wo students nahi hote, to Indian packaging industry would have been different than what it is today.
Today, you name any industry, mostly the FMCG company, the IIP students are there.
Right.
But the institute, what I was thinking that we should do more and more patent.
Right.
Today, IPR is very important, intellectual property right.
Right.
The first patent what I did in the institute, it is a very nice, you will be very happy to note. Kolkata mein, West Bengal, there is a khajur good. You might have heard. You know the date palm. Now during winter, the date palm, जो tree है, in that tree they just put a matka. Over the night the sap is collected. The farmer they do it. And small farmer, somebody has got 2 tree, 4 tree, 5 tree, and they just collect some few liters of the liquid, and that next day they just boil it and made a jaggery, good.
Achha.
And that is called khajur good.
Achha.
The khajur good has got a very special fragrance.
Achha.
And that is in Bengali cuisine, rasgulla, sandesh, everywhere you find. I being a Bengali, we also like it. And
I didn't know that.
This is called khajur good. But West Bengal government has started a chain of outlet that is called Vishwa Bangla.
Okay. Vishwa
Bangla.
Vishwa Bangla.
Vishwa means world, and Bengal product should reach to the world. Wow. That was their idea. So when I was at IIP, we had a conference at Calcutta. So the Vishwa Bangla, the chief, one of the IS officer, he called me and he said that I want to sell this date palm liquid jaggery in my Vishwa Bangla showroom. But the problem is the life is very small. So I said, sir, let me see the product. So he arranged to send about a few liters of that liquid jaggery to the institute, and we put it into the fridge immediately, then started analyzing. I was very difficult because that jaggery, as I said that, it got oxidized. And it started, the discoloration and all. within 5 hours maximum. So 5 hours of the shelf life. And he wants to sell to the market. That means you need a packet which has to be alive. At least he said at least 3 months life.
Right.
Otherwise, the transportation and all these things. So that was a big challenge, what to do it. But my team has worked with me, and one Mrs. Bandekar, she worked with me very closely, and so whole team we started working. But I was behind this as an inventor, that what we do. So we choose some packaging material which has got a good barrier and all. So one of the material we thought that we first started with you might have seen the Pichco. So that we took their format. These are various format. One we took a stand-up pouch with a spout, that also we took it. The third one we took as a toothpaste tube.
Acha.
Now toothpaste tube, which is the leading company called SL Packaging.
Yes.
And my partner, Mr. Banerjee, in the foundation, you were the director innovation in that company. So through him, we had got some sample. And that material structure, he's already patented that structure. That has got a very high moisture as well as the oxygen barrier. With the EVA structure. So we took that material and then we tube and then we fill it without adding anything, that liquid jaggery with worm, and we fill it and seal it and started doing the shelf life study. After 2 months, as it is, no smell, nothing, no discoloration, we have been doing the study and all. And it went to up to 6 months.
Lovely.
So the life of the product from 5 hours, it extended to 6 months.
Wow.
The officer at the chief of Vishwa Bangla, he was so excited. He said, went to Calcutta, we had a press conference, the whole newspaper came that, because he's telling how the farmers will get benefited.
Right.
Not only that, they have taken initiative in a small place, they started a cooperative system. The farmer, someone is bringing 2 liter, 5 liter, put together, and everything they are standardizing and making the jaggery, and automation on the machine is going. So it is a jaggery which is in a test tube, like a toothpaste tube.
Toothpaste tube. Wow.
So it is a red color toothpaste. You can see in the Amazon they have been selling it. And the value addition in the winter time in West Bengal on a local market, you get liquid jaggery is sold at the price of 150 rupees per liter. Vishwa Bangla is selling in the tube 100 ml 70 rupees. 1 liter 700 rupees.
Yeah, 6-7 times.
7 times value addition just by packaging.
Wow.
So the officer was so
That
excited.
is the power of packaging.
That's the power of packaging. So he said, Dr. Saha, let's do a patent. So we did a patent, the Indian Institute of Packaging and the Khadi Gramodyog of West Bengal. We made the first patent, and that's my first patent, or the institute first patent as an inventor. And that has made a miracle change, because
it has impacted so many people's lives.
The ethnic food, how the ethnic food you can really increase the life from 5 hours to goes to the 6 months. So once I met him and I saw that the name was not given in the packet. So he said, how come your name is not come? I said, the institute name should come. Abhi hai. Abhi packet mein they write. I forgot to bring a packet for you. So that is written very clearly, the specialized packaging developed by IIP Mumbai.
Lovely, sir.
And that's sold in the market. That's sold in the market.
Very nice.
But
that's the kind of impact that
that's
the
IIP
has had.
What IIP has done it. And that's why the name of the institute is so big. But I feel there is a tremendous scope. The ample of scope.
तो अभी क्या लगता है, क्या और IIP ने करना चाहिए? What to in terms of?
I can't comment, because now the different leadership.
it is not. I can understand.
I could do whatever I could do during my tenure, but I am fully satisfied.
One piece of advice for the next generation of IIP leaders.
I can only say that people should do a lot of research, which is missing in the country, and that research should be packaging research. And we are not doing much research on packaging. We are doing our specification is fine, but we should do more on basic research. Today the whole world is thinking about sustainable packaging. Whole world is thinking about alternative packaging, which we don't have. We are fully dependent on plastics. Yes, single layer plastics is fantastic because it can be recyclable.
Correct.
But it's a limitation.
Correct.
Because all plastics cannot satisfy. I give an example of potato chips. One material, suppose I take a polyethylene, is very good in moisture barrier, but very poor in oxygen barrier.
Right.
I take a polyester, very good in oxygen barrier, very poor in moisture barrier.
Right.
But I need both. I have to sandwich it. So that's my
material which can eliminate.
Exactly. So we need a research I always say in many forums that we should do a research on coating technology.
Lovely.
We should have a coating technology where the coat should come over the single polymeric material, which can be oxygen barrier, moisture barrier, sealable, aroma barrier. So all the characteristics what you are doing in a 3-layer or 5-layer structure, make it in one layer, and that becomes sustainable for the future generation.
Lovely, sir. Lovely. Thanks. I mean, in terms of your time, I feel I can extract so much more. We definitely need to do a second session. But एक चीज आपको पूछना है, is there anything that I should have asked? आपने बोला यार मेरे जर्नी का तो ये तो आपने पूछा ही नहीं. Is there something that one question that you feel that I should have asked and I missed?
No, whatever.
Almost.
I was just talking, whatever I have done in my career, I'm just doing
Great.
that.
I mean, wonderful journey. I'm sure we have not even touched the top surface. 1%. There is much more. As I get to know more of you, as we interact, whenever we get a chance,
Yes.
probably sometime later we can get on to. I have last two questions, which is generally we ask all our guests. Is one, I got your reference from Ramu Ramanathan of Print Week, and he highly recommended you should meet sir, and he's a basket of knowledge, and you have to talk to him. So you have anyone in mind in your journey of these many years in the packaging industry who could be a good guest for us, who could share their knowledge, who can
Which subject? Let me think of it. I'll come back to you. Ramu I know because he used to take a lot of interview, and
Correct.
in fact you'll be surprised when I got invitation from you. I first wrote to Noel. I said I got an invitation. I don't know the organization. What do you feel? He's a journalism background and all, but he has strongly recommended. He said, "Sir, please you accept this invitation. You go."
Thanks.
I said, "Okay."
Thanks of
I'll
Noel
come.
to say that.
And,
Very
thanks
nice.
to Noel that I could meet you.
Yeah. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. It's a privilege. Yeah. Thanks. And please do let me know if you have
Sure.
something in mind.
Yeah, let me-
And last is in terms of this podcast as a concept is picking up. You might have seen during
Yes.
the COVID post-COVID times, a lot of people doing podcasts, and we've kind of one of the first few guys in the industry doing podcasts on the printing industry, packaging industry. So what are your views around that? Any advice for us in terms of how could we do better?
No, I feel that this is a very interesting part and the podcast, and I believe your background is also from packaging side. If
Yeah.
you really want to promote on a packaging, you can have a series of packaging, the channel. I mean,
Yes,
you have
yes.
taken many subjects,
Yes.
and science, engineering, technology is no dearth. But whatever you do the podcast, your series or the interview, try to cover. Maybe you cover someone an expert on paper, someone an expert on plastic,
Correct.
someone on metal, someone on glass.
Correct.
They should talk about the material science.
Right.
Today the time is more on the material science.
Right.
More and more development should come material science. Call the industry like on the machinery industry. That's another. Recycling, as a matter of fact, is a fantastic idea. And today the recycling has become all set of a different segment of the industry.
By itself.
By itself it has
Yeah.
come. Recycling material manufacturer, there are machinery manufacturer. So I'm sure you might be calling some the recycling people.
Yeah.
Samir
We've had
Joshi, you have
Samir
invited
Joshi,
him.
yes.
So like that, I'll also recommend from my team, whoever can come, I'll definitely
Yes,
tell
yes,
them
please.
that they can come to you as
Yes,
a
it will be
podcast.
really nice to hear different people, their perspectives, their journey, how has been their contribution, how it is helping. अभी जैसे आपका contribution, IIP contribution, industry को तो पता ही नहीं है. Probably by this podcast, a lot of people would get to know about that.
Yeah.
Great, sir. Thanks for your time. Really
Thank you
appreciate.
so much.
Thank you.
so
Thanks
much,
a lot.
Ajit.
Thank you. Thanks.